All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nossa, zero pessoas assistindo minha live. Qual foi, meu
Ô
boy?
Google, para de... Ô Cília, para de ouvir minhas conversas sua.
Filha da puta, cara, não vai ser.
Não, deixa eu celular carregar ali, essa filha de uma. Hackeando minhas conversas.
Hackeando o que, menino? Para de ser.
Quer ouvir uma informação?
Informação boa isso aí, hein? Importante. O Staley era feliz. E o meu controle não tá carregando. Aí quando carrega eu vou lá e solto ele. Tira a mão, Pedro. Pedro, para com isso. Agora. Quem encostar em mim é gay. Para, porra! Só não bato porque, né? Porque é o que eu tenho. Parça.
Queria testar essa veracidade.
Nossa, vai me ajudar demais, né, Pedro?
Será que a mãe aprovaria eu voltar a aprovar?
Acho que se ela falaria, graças a Deus, você mandou. Ai, é. Só fazer um apertinho básico, né? Na merda. Pô, será que vou ter que comprar outro?
Aí eu vou escrever, essa aqui tá abandonada por baixo do mato. Você acredita que eu não vai ficar? Abandonada por baixo do mato.
Se ela não cumprir, você pode no dia me cobrar.
O quê?
Se ela chegou abandonada,
Vai pegar uma erva.
porque você não pode ficar citando essa memória que eles falam que você não vai muito, essas coisas. Só se privar
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
primeiro acho que
co-workers.
veja. Mesmo macho, já vai ficar com mal. O Ana já fica até aqui. Esse jacaré não tem lugar molhado. Não sei quando.
Não. Quando o Staley chegou a um conjunto de duas portas abertas, ele entrou na porta da sua esquerda. Tá bom. E a porta fechada
Se
também.
você tivesse entrado na porta direita.
Amigo, eu sou Staley.
Yet there was not a
No entanto,
single
ali
person
também não
in the
havia
building.
uma pessoa sequer. Sendo uma onda de desesperança, Staley decidiu ir até o escritório de seu chefe para ver se poderia encontrar uma resposta lá. Mano, tá bom, bora lá.
Coming to a staircase,
Ao
Stanley
se deparar
walked
numa escada,
upstairs
Staley
to his
subiu
boss's
até chegar ao
office.
escritório de seu chefe.
Você tá seguindo muitas regras desse cara.
Pra quê? Ao entrar na sala de escada do chefe, Staley mais uma vez se viu surpreso ao descobrir que não havia sinal de alguém sequer no sala de mano. Chocado e antes se perguntou incrédulo quem estava por trás disso. Qual seria o segredo que estava escondendo dele? O que ele não sabia é que o teclado numérico atrás da mesa do chefe dele guardava a terrível verdade que ele era. Por isso, o chefe havia estabelecido um código número ultra secreto 2845. Mas é claro, o Staley não sabia como saber disso.
Então, vai fazer o código 284.
Deixa eu ver se tem aqui nada. Nada.
Ele acabou de falar o código, seu burro.
Tem nada por aqui. Piano. Staley ficou sentado de braços cruzados. Tentaram inserir qualquer sequência numérica, já que não havia como saber que a combinação correta era 2845.
Tem o código.
Deixa eu ver esse aqui.
2845.
2845.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Eu vou ficar aqui de pé. Vou ficar aqui cruzado. Eu não sei. Minha nossa, de repente o sistema de emergência do painel foi ativado, fazendo com que as portas se abrissem sozinho. Então ele acabou se dando bem na história. Uhul. What the fuck? Não. Ué, onde que eu tô?
Porque você não quis fazer o que o cara fez, então ele falou, não, quer saber se eu consigo.
Tem alguma coisa pra cá? Tem nada pra cá. Tem só um elevador pra baixo.
Acho que o primeiro jogo que eu vou gravar quando eu comprar meu PC já vai ser o Pop Playtime, aproveitar.
Deve ser, né? E nós estamos descendo. Loading. Carregando. Ao assim, cada vez mais na fruta desse prédio, ele percebeu que estava assistindo. Era uma emoção de a natureza do seu trabalho. Para que você estava sentindo disciplina agora? Nesses anos nunca havia ele corrido. Essa pergunta não ficava a respeito há muito tempo. Quem? Onde que eu tô? Então ele seguiu em frente e entrou em uma grande parte que havia. Escape. Mind control footage. Olha uma câmera. É Roblox. As luzes se acenderam revelando uma enorme sala cheia de teclas. Se ele pensou consigo mesmo que segredo horrível esse lugar poderia guardar, será que ele teria as suficientes para... Agora, os monitores ganharam vida exponencialmente. Cada um deles havia um número de personagens prédios. Hoje é tanto TV. É uma tela. Sem deixar de monitores. Não, nada. Friar? Por que tem uns Fried do nada? Os Fried 601 105. Bora lá então, né? Apertar o botão de elevador pra cima. Esse centro de disfunção mental era terrível demais para ser real, não pode ser verdade. Se ele realmente esteve sob o controle de alguém durante todo esse tempo, seria a única razão pela qual ele estava feliz com seu trabalho? Será que suas emoções foram manipuladas para que aceitasse questionar alguém? É o quê? Não, podia ser. Ele recusava acreditar nisso. Ele não podia aceitar. Sua própria vida estava controlada por outra pessoa? Nunca! Isso é alguma coisa inesperável, não era? Seria mesmo possível? Teria ele realmente passado por sua vida inteira completamente alheio ao mundo? Mas aqui está a prova. O coração, emoções felizes, triste ou contente. Caminhar, comer, trabalhar, tudo isso monitor nesse lugar.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine
Decidiu que essa máquina
exert its terrible power over another. For he
estava
would
destinado a
dismantle the
destruir
controls once
por
and
todas. Oi, mãe.
Rafael, você comeu o de hoje?
Esse botão 5. No momento em que finalmente encontrou a fonte de energia aqui dentro, por isso que você pertence esse lugar horrível.
put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
E pronto, isso. Oh, meu controle. Look my control. Nossa, 0 pessoas na live.
Blackness.
Escuridão. É um calafrio crescente de incerteza. Seria esse o fim? Tá aqui. Sim, ele havia vencido. Ele havia derrotado a máquina, diferenciando de comando de outra pessoa. A liberdade estava mais próxima do que nunca. E, no entanto, mesmo enquanto a imensa porta, ele refletiu sobre o quanto questionar ainda estava sem resposta. Onde estavam seus colegas de trabalho? Como ele se libertou das garras da máquina? Que outros mistérios estava guardando neste estranho... Mas quando a luz do sol começou a... ele percebeu que nada disso tinha importância para ele. Afinal, ele não havia... nem estava em busca de conhecimento ou poder, mas de felicidade. Talvez seu objetivo não fosse entender, mas conseguisse libertar. Ninguém mais lhe daria para onde ir, mas o que fazer, ou como se fazer. Independentemente da vida que ele escolhesse viver, isso seria tudo que ele precisava saber. Era talvez a única coisa que da vida que estava pensando apenas saber. Stanley entrou pela porta aberta. Stanley sentiu a brisa fresca em sua pele, a sensação de liberdade, as infinitas possibilidades que se abriram nesse novo caminho à sua frente. Quê? É exatamente assim que as coisas devem acontecer. E Stanley estava feliz. Ele tá feliz, Pedro. Fique feliz pelo Stanley.
Estou feliz.
E eu vou ganhar uma conquista agora. Falei?
Troféu conquistado.
Never the end. Is never the end. Isso nunca acaba. Isso carrega.
Não adianta.
De
Tá bom.
novo? Vai todo dia?
Porque a mãe não pode?
Por causa que eu tô falando.
Eu durmo em casa todo dia.
Ai, louco, mãe. Falou que ele falou, hein?
Ô, louco, compensa.
Compensa?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it be? Stanley decided to go to a meeting. Perhaps
Se quebrar, olê,
Seu
olê, eu vou poder comprar.
Quero meu beijo.
Não emagrece, não vai ficar cara de buceta. Tchau.
É bom que eu posso ficar acordada fazendo barulho, karaokê, dançando.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oxe, eu vou pegar ele também. Vocês
Vai
podem
fazer só
fazer.
verificar, tá bom?
Tá bom. Então, aí,
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5
se você da próxima vez, Thiago, conseguir as ordens dele, vai ganhar uma pontuação.
I would
Deve
say
ser
that kind of warrants. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some muscle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
1400.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Tchau, porque fica falando.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Então.
Yes, really worth being here in a room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room would have been creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Ele ó, esperando. Então esse aqui.
Vai na porta aberta.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amusing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here, no choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was flat out really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That old drug man. Also, Stanley was addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to his broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system, and you have that impulsory dream. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person of this computer is dead. They have all prayed to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of solutions. Please remove the items from the area and instruct another movement to take place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person I came before. Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of animals. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby who can handle controls too. A fish, fungus. Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Eu vou botar lá. E eu volto. Agora vamos ficar aqui parado. Vou botar aqui de novo.
Coming to the staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange, this can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream! Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One, he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And when he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now hearing the voice speak these words was a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a doubt that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to the call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions on her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, stared down at the body. And then she turned around.
Ah, louco.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times. Is that all you think the trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you would click the door 20 times. I would. That's the kind of effort that warrants reflection. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing a true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks would do. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle stand. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. 417. 420. 17.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Caso 37.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, I don't know, the copy machine.
Computador.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb employee 419's desk.
Cara, não dá pra só simplesmente entrar no TikTok e ter gatos normais, não. Tem que dar porra, chat, um gato que parece aquele cara e o Mussolini.
419.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all online, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416, 17, 18. Bora lá, meu parceiro.
We almost got
Vou fazer
it!
lá.
Now the copy
Agora.
machine, do that one again! Finish it up, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That's very amazing. Oh, you did it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm proud of how far we've come today. Stanley came to set two open doors. And to the door on Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling away desperately. Stanley, no, not again. There's a hundred cards. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please, take your time.
Eu não volto mais pro Siri Cascudo, nunca. Porque agora eu sou uma peça fundamental da máquina corporativa. É nada, porque agora eu sou o gerente aqui.
Coming to the staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitted he had left his post during the rise. He might not be half at that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone else. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Staley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he kneeled down? Why did doors close automatically behind him whenever he moved? These rooms were starting to look
Mas não, em cima de mim.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange, this can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that it would be not to his time. He just had to find a room for it. I'm dreaming! This is all a dream! To have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were actually wrong. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't going to lose his job. He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. If I go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons, I may as well enjoy this instead. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float over the plane. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was it that he had so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all ended Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself to considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. A moment he thought it all very odd. I wonder if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. But to try for the voice, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, the voice speaking was just a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a doubt that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake. He felt the weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress in his bed, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm feeling this way. I wish I could be alone. Let me go back to my room. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my... I dream. All the days of my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Uma divulgando nossa camisa em homenagem à lenda do futebol, às seleções e títulos. Tanto que o nome da coleção do Neymar se chama The Prince, ou Prince. Eles já fizeram desde uma camiseta do Brasil linda, perfeita, maravilhosa.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real. I must be real. Can anybody hear this?
Eu, por exemplo, fico feião. Aí se liga nesse negão que parece o Gerson. O maluco fica um grande gostoso. Meu pai só fica esquisito. Mas a camisa da hora. E por fim, tem a linda também. O Brasil original foi chama esse vigilista Vitor atual. Seria só do Brasil.
He would stumble through town talking in speed. Then collapsed dead in his knees. And the person who soon turned to be a dead ambulance to Jacob. Each moment, keeping fit of the strange. She was always as painful. Everyone knows what perfect was. And in that moment, she talked to him. herself how lucky she was to be older. I understand. I've been confirmed. I know that you and you. It was comforting to think of, and in certain ways, some reason why you felt better.
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The more important people were easing pressures on her over
Davi, ó, última vez que eu faço. Terceira vez é quebração de braço na tua vida.
time this. So it was the only other motive that she stood with, staring down the
Como é que a pessoa aguenta com isso? Mas tu não aguenta porque tu tá pregando. Três queijos, três presuntos, ele fica dentro do presunto. Chama de bem que calabresa, meu dinheiro seu, né? Você tá tocando. É um luxo. A segunda vez que eu venho. Eu não é que você comer tudo e último. Comigo você não vem mais, você não faz mais nada. Cadê meu nome? Mas eu sou um sapo, eu não sou um dragão de Komodo, não. Como é que eu vou comer isso aqui tudo, rapaz?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting. Perhaps he had
Pra não
something
ficar na dúvida, eu vou ter que perguntar. Ele queima ou não queima? Queima. Queima ou não queima?
when Stanley told her
Eles não meteram essa,
Não quero.
Eles não meteram essa.
Pra não ficar na dúvida, eu vou ter que perguntar. Ele queima ou não queima? Queima. Queima ou não queima? Queima. Queima ou não queima? Queima ou não queima? Queima ou não queima?
Esse cara é mó foda.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Quero trocar a porta. Ai, que safado.
Peraí, Thiago, posso testar um som rapidinho?
Safado.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Para, Pedro, com isso, mano.
Galera, tá aqui. Chegou a primeira placa. Galera, tá aqui. Chegou a primeira placa baseada na nova tecnologia do Live Web NVIDIA. Essa aqui é a RTX 5090 modelinho. A outra, essa aqui é uma Master Ice. Então a minha Master da Web é uma linha entusiasta de produtos de hardware da Web. E o Ice tá passando uma coisinha branca. Tipo, pode falar. Só. Vamos lá, vamos fazer um unboxing.
Você decide, Davi. Ou você se rende ou eu quero sua coluna agora.
Beleza, então eu vou começar tirando ela daqui da caixa. Agora tá bem. A caixa.
Vai, Davi. Shimmy. E agora não sobe mais em cima dele.
Galera, tem que sintetizar o tema da luz, né? A luz Master Ice.
Você percebe que a amor verdadeiro quando uma pessoa decide te ensinar ao invés de te abandonar. Afinal, o que é amor?
Fala baixo aí, nego. Baixa isso aí, Pedro.
Eu vou ficar em cima dele, tá bom?
Sai de mim!
Tá vendo? Você gosta?
Ai, mas que o chuva fica toda molhada?
Eu não te mandei ficar aqui? Vai passar. Vai passar.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to input and yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct key by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Escolhe se pipoca ou comida. Escolhe.
Pipoca, cadê o milho? Aceite.
Whoops. Never mind. actually got back into the elevator and went back home. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
É. Entra.
Davi, mano, não precisa fora. Põe você pra fora, vai.
There you are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Quer usar o banheiro?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all this?
Já tem que ficar puto comigo.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walks straight ahead through the large door with red mind control facility.
Não, 14.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing.
Ah, velho, qual foi?
Mano, eu fico com o cu fechado. Sério? Não queria ser o camarada. Sério?
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Espere.
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Staley bird. Please hold.
All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Ok, Staley, vence assim. Ou será o código?
Of course. Going back down the elevator. How did I anticipate it? Sure, now it's obvious
Claro,
that you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Desculpa, eu... Textão... Fui textão, bagulho. Agora eu vou escrever isso. Aqui, eu não vou.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door of the red mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his final death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no real loss, like plucking the eyebrows from a man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and short life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ainda reclama, faço um negócio e ainda reclama. Vai tomar.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Antes que eles acabem enquanto volta. Cuidado, se mandar um fulano bom, pelo menos o fulano na pancada. De nada.
Stanley stood on the roof.
Lembrando, Ana, que se for pegar suco, pega o que tá na mesa.
Now look closer, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad things.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Don't choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Não tinha muita pipoca pra fazer, então deu extensão. Se essa for sua guitarra...
beisebol no lugar de uma guitarra. Meu mano, tu pediu uma guitarra e veio só um exoesqueleto de uma. Se alguém souber como toca com isso, deixa nos comentários. Você com certeza se iludiu pelo fato dessa guitarra trocar de timbre. Você dá um bend nisso aí, tu perde até o dedo. Mas eu teria uma. Diz a lenda que Van Halen usou um backtrack e usou essa guitarra, na verdade, para fazer seus tappings. Quem nunca teve uma guitarra dessa? Deve ser muito foda tirar um solo nisso. Se você realmente comprou uma guitarra dessa, eu tô de luto por você. Você provavelmente achou que o barato não ia sair caro. Porque se você tentasse dar um bem essa guitarra desmontasse na sua mão, eu não duvidaria. Que tem uma dessa aí comenta. Você queria uma guitarra cara e boa. Parabéns, você achou. É uma Ibanez, mano, não tem muito o que dizer. Você provavelmente vai demorar muito pra trocar ela. E se trocar vai ser pra uma melhor. Tu queria um violão, cara. Nunca vi uma utilidade numa guitarra que faz um papel de violão. Mas deve ser bem da hora. Você foi numa loja de música e confundiu essa guitarra com uma rampa de Hot Wheels. Que guitarra feia da... Se essa foi sua guitarra... Se essa foi sua guitarra, você provavelmente... Você queria comprar um taco de beisebol no lugar de uma guitarra. Meu mano, tu pediu uma guitarra e veio só um exoesqueleto de uma. Se alguém souber como toca com isso, deixa nos comentários. Você com certeza se iludiu pelo fato dessa guitarra trocar de timbre. Você dá um bend nisso aí, tu perde até o dedo. Mas eu teria uma. Diz a lenda que Van Halen usou um backtrack e usou essa guitarra, na verdade, para fazer seus tappings. Quem nunca teve uma guitarra dessa? Deve ser muito Memórias que nenhum tempo apaga. Anos 70, 80 e 90, parte 4. Geração que já tirou o talinho verde pra chupar o melzinho. Cadê vocês, meus filhos? E esse doce de leite era tão bom que até o plástico a gente mastigava. Desculpa, mas se você nunca fez isso, não podemos ser amigos.
Não. Então seja meu amigo, eu já fiz isso.
Antes da época que eu era rico e tinha
um carrinho cheio de boi.
Várias cabeças de gado. Nunca se esqueça. Você já percebeu que o filho mais folgado é sempre o que tem mais dos pais? A gente imagina o contrário, né? Que aquele filho que é independente, o que corre atrás das coisas, que não dá trabalho pros pais, ou aquele filho decidido, o filho que vai correr atrás de fazer as coisas. Esse filho, geralmente, ele não ganha bosta, não. Agora, aquele filho que começa tanta faculdade paga, aquele filho que não sai da casa dos pais, aquele filho que perde bem do pai da mãe pra tudo, aquele filho que sabe bosta nenhuma, esse filho é o filho que vai sempre ter tudo. Sempre vai ter tudo dos pais. E dá uma sensação, às vezes, de frustração pra eles. Tipo assim, pô, você imagina que se você for um bom filho, fazer tudo do jeito certo, você vai ser o filho que mais vai ter ali uma ajuda.
Julião, põe esse carro de arco-íris aqui.
Tu tá treinando na Smart.
Você acha de verdade que ele tá treinando?
Eu acho que não,
Eu
cara.
aposto que ele tá na feira.
Ele não vai comigo pro carnaval nem a pau.
Vamos lá ver.
Agora o Toguro tá gay. Muito gay. O Toguro era tão foda, mano. O cara treinava pra porra, era foda pra caralho. Hoje em dia tá um merda, mano. Tá um merda.
Muitas vezes começar algo novo pode ser ruim.
Você sabia? Al Capone não era apenas um mafioso. Ele foi o rei do crime nos anos 1920. Eu sou o Rafa. Nunca tô uma moeda.
Eu sou roxa.
Rapaziada, vamos deixar o like da live.
Eu fecho a conta por hoje. Pô, carregando aí, eu ia começar a sua carga ali. Nossa, pô. Não fui eu? Não fui eu?
Pega o gelo. Você me deu um Google Play, meu. Ô, parou. fica raspa com ó os pés. A diferença de um pé pro outro, você colocar assim. Aí ela ficou.
O pelicano de compensado é maior que um campo de futebol. Pesa mais do que o estado de New Hampshire. Só vou uma vez com seu criador, o Sr. C. Montgomery Burns.
Eu voei a uma altitude de 2 metros e uma distância de 1,5 metros. Depois descobrimos que a chuva
Seu
tinha pegado
maluco.
fogo. Aí acabaram me demitindo. Mas que festa mágica! O Sr. Burns realmente é um grande homem!
Tenho uma impressão ruim de tudo.
Ah, que é isso, Marge? O lugar é ótimo! Entrada livre, comida legal e ainda podemos usar o banheiro do futuro, olha!
Diga que ele é o vapor doce.
O expresso do Homer.
Ai, até a noite não vai ter hora pra começar o ano com o pé direito nos estudos. Eu descobri uma forma de vocês estudar esse ano de um jeito diferenciado. Vocês precisam conhecer o Gurizada, me desculpa, mas quem é cristão não pode ouvir rock. Se você acha isso, esse cinema que é completamente diferenciado.
Fomos em um cinema que a gente come tudo que passa no filme.
Mas tudo que passa no filme, os atores vocês comem também?
Eu escolhi assistir o filme As Branquelas, que é bem icônica.
Nossa, esse já possível assistir tipo Shrek, assim, vai ser muito da hora que assiste Shrek bem terra, sabe?
Então, antes do filme começar, eles já trouxeram uma pipoquinha de cinema que eu e o Boy amamos.
Que boi, você tá vendo o boi no vídeo, só o cara aí.
E também um champanhe.
Uma pipoca e um champanhe, super chique.
A primeira cena é a cena do sorvete lá, que é de baunilha. Eles trouxeram uma sopa.
Ele pode achar sorvete, a gente joga aqui na cena do sorvete, mas nossa, sopa.
Junto com uma nota de $100 comestível pra se referir à maleta de
Nossa,
dinheiro.
pegou essa nota e trocar no banco.
A próxima cena, gente, foi aquela empadinha de queijo que ele é intolerante à lactose.
Intolerante à lactose, cara, o que ele já comer?
Nessa cena era uma festinha de pijama, aí eles trouxeram um drink com um gloss, que o gloss era comestível.
Pra o cara tá curtindo, ele coitado, não tem a hora de ir embora pra casa.
A próxima cena que eu tava esperando e sonhando pra comer. Ela tá jantando com o Latrell, então ela começa a pedir várias comidas diferentes.
Todas as comidas que eles pedem lá.
A costela, que tava muito gostosa, com batata frita.
Nossa, que vontade, nossa, que vontade. Esse aqui foi. Quem é que essa costela é mesmo? Será?
Juro, é a melhor costela que a gente já comeu.
Ela tá comendo tão gosto. Foi o próprio Jim Carrey que teve a ideia de colocar a dança dos Robotniks em Sonic 3. Segundo o diretor do filme, o próprio Jim Carrey teve essa ideia antes de começar a produção de Sonic 3. Ele queria trazer novamente um Robotnik dançando nesse filme. Sendo que no primeiro filme, o Jim Carrey quis colocar essa cena de dança, mas como o filme passou por alguns sufocos, a produção não deixou ele fazer o que ele queria. A ideia do Jim Carrey era simplesmente se divertir nessa cena e contracenar com ele mesmo. E o diretor ainda disse que o Jim Carrey estava tão animado com a cena que ele escolheu a música e alguns passos da coreografia foi ele mesmo que fez. Então podemos dizer que essa cena do Sonic 3 só existe por conta do Jim Carrey, já que foi um pedido dele para o diretor e também tudo ali foi escolhido por ele, incluindo alguns passos e também a música que a gente escuta enquanto ele está passeando ali, fazendo a coreografia com os lasers. E como a gente sabe, é bem provável que o próprio Jim Carrey volte a interpretar o Robotnik no próximo filme do Sonic, já que ele mesmo disse que ele está muito empolgado para isso e basta chamar ele que ele atende o pedido. Sendo que o Jim Carrey já tinha dito que não ia protagonizar sequências e olha só, ele...
Cara, vai me falar pra te lembrar.
Bom dia.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Na época que rap de anime era bom, ele cantava assim, ó. E se pudesse escolher entre ser um herói e viver o maior vilão, ser Goku ou ser um ladrão, qual seria a sua opção? Seu prodígio com habilidades fazendo igualar sempre em ascensão. Vou mostrar que tem motivação que pode levantar essa cotopeira. Na época... E ela vai demais, é. Oxe. Ai, na época dos animes, rapaz, eu ainda ouço rap de anime. E não sou uma tia que eu gosto, né?
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door originally.
Estamos só carregando aqui.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Tá gravando?
Não.
Vai gravar?
Vou. Ok. Tempo. O que tem um tempo? Estranho.
Isso é muito legal, eu tô muito feliz por você.
A hora.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Tá tudo escuro aqui, cara. Tá muito escuro. Vai brincar lá.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start? Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Com saudade dele. Ele mal me compreendeu desde que eu falei com ele da Estela. Eu devia ter esperado até pronto pra disputar crédito pra ele, mas eu só queria apoiar ele do jeito que ele vem me apoiando no semestre inteiro. Eu nunca tinha virado o número dele pra isso. O bairro da Forte Cerejeira já é no sábado. Você já decidiu se vai ou não?
All of his co-workers was gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Quero que as coisas entrem entre vocês. Eu também. Que cara é essa?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Gente, no meio da escola. Quando eu entrei namorava no pé do eu sempre saio da escola sozinha. É foda, mas não foi isso, porque eu não recebi isso na boca. Talvez seja porque eu tenho essa pra poder pra todo dia, eu vou embora em breve. Talvez.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Eu tenho uma família, mas eu mesmo estou tendo outra. Eu vou contar a real pra você. Eu ouvi coisas muito ruins sobre o seu lado. Tipo que a mãe diz que a sua amiga era a irmã caçula que fazia tudo o que quer. Ela podia cuidar do técnico que estava...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
O meu casamento é um pouco de pessoa. Por que a sua amiga? Eu nem sabia que o seu nome da família existia pelo menos atrás. Mas, contrário, o seu pai escreveu sobre essa doença. E eles trabalharam juntos para tentar resolver até a minha mãe morrer. Ela faleceu quando eu tinha 3 anos. Vocês fazem isso. Um acidente de vida. A raiva me enfiou.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Não se preocupa, você consegue. E estamos juntos. A gente consegue, né, não?
That's her, Stan. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Qual o seu status de relacionamento?
Bom, eu não sei se foi eu agora. Primeiro, você é um garoto, mas melhor deixar essa resposta vaga. As pessoas gostam de se discutir.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. Oh, great. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Staley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing buttons. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Não, eu não vou. Eu não vou precisar. Vou ficar aqui. Parado.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a babe. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Eu vou dormir, cara. Soninho da porra. Quero ir dormir? Quero ir dormir. Não, não. Não vou, quero dormir. Quero dormir, cara. Nossa, troca de pai. Vou continuar esperando.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Eu quero questionar, eu quero.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Eita.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
(427) Quatro sequências.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. at last he found the source. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment you fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. The jump circle? Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, Initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. They could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Foi. O quê? Oi. Tá bom.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Wow.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, waste. And over here is where I keep reviews of the Staley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Staley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Staley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Staley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Staley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Vamos ver.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collected down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game's already such a dense layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Quando o banheiro, o cheiro fica meio potente. E nada pra isso. Não vou olhar pra trás. Não vou olhar pra trás. Ou mais um. Peraí, onde eu deixei o cara?
Let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always will. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always did. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment surely couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthful that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise.
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 Treatise. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Treatise.
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 Manifesto. Treatise.
Treatise.
Manifesto.
Treatise.
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 Manifesto.
Treatise.
Manifesto.
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 Treatise. Manifesto.
Treacher.
Treatise.
Treacher.
Treatise. Manifesto.
Treacher.
Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise.
Treacher.
Manifesto. Treatise.
Treacher.
Treatise.
Treatise. Treatise.
Treatise.
Treatise. Manifesto.
Manifesto.
Manifesto. Manifesto. Treaters.
Manifesto.
Treacher. Treaters.
Manifesto. Treatise. 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 Manifesto.
Cara, para.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a faultless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
So what?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just, wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Ai, cara, que susto, porra! Parece vibração, certo?
Sim, vai ser assim. Ah, esperando.
É louca, maluca? Hoje me deixa ficar sozinha. É sobre saber se há um lugar, o que sei lá, tudo. Não é sobre ser recordado as pessoas do mundo. É sobre saber se há um lugar a quem será curtir. Thiago,
Que?
vamos jogar a verdade aqui?
Pra quê?
Só pode jogar mesmo, participei. Por que você tá chorando?
Porque eu quero.
Vai? Jogar? Por isso eu prefiro sorrir. Eu falei que você vai jogar.
É. Porra. My dog.
dia de hoje. Tá vendo?
Eu tô esperando esse cara retornar a mensagem. Faz
Parede pra gravar?
tempo.
Vou gravar um vídeo e vou editar. Parte 1, 2, 3 e 4, porque vai ser um grande pronunciamento.
Tá bom. Fica até fiquei esperando aqui.
Tipo assim, eu postei isso aqui, ó.
Amanhã estarei me pronunciando sobre o canal e o porquê está tendo falta de vídeo no canal.
Não, porque não tá vendo vídeo na tabacaria. Pedro, traz um cobertor pra mim, senão você sugar pelos, né? Porra!
Poxa, é essa? Sem camisa? Tu já tá velho. Eu vim fazer uma luz.
Já dormiu. Ai, não sei.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the strips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll need to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment.
Não, eu tava com o mouse aqui, ó.